Hi guys, welcome to Motorhome Rehab Ranch. If you have a GMC motorhome, like to have one, and just want to learn more about it, you're in the right place. And a special shout out to our ranch hands that helps us by supporting us to be able to make more videos, to answer questions and all that kind of stuff. At the end of the video, I'll tell you how you can also be a ranch hand. But right now, let's get into something about a GMC that maybe you know, maybe you don't. See what happens. Hey guys, it's Jim Bounds with Co-op Motorworks and Motorhome Rehab Ranch over on Patreon. And today we're going to talk about windshields. So why do I have a steering wheel in my hand? Well, this is a commercial message because the next video we're going to be doing today, I think you guys will really be interested. It's about steering. All the way from the rusty hole right in the middle of the steering wheel. I bet you everybody has a rusty hole here. All the way down to the gearbox. I'm going to break that up. I think you'll enjoy that. Might be 2 episodes. We'll have to see. All right, well today we're going to talk about windshields. In this case, the lack thereof. Windshield's been taken out. Gasket's still sitting here. Reason we took the windshield out of this is because the dash fell apart. Plastic fell apart. We needed to get to the back side, okay? We had already had these windshields installed. They're very nice windshields. Matter of fact, they're windshields. We had these put that Lumar Air 80 on them that blocks out all the heat. Can't even see it. It's amazing stuff. So we wanted to be real careful in getting the things out. To do that, this is the lock bead. This is the bead that holds the windshield into the gasket. Okay, well the lock bead falls apart usually. Gaskets have been really resilient in the years past, and a lot of times we reused them, but to be honest, look, it's gotten hard. And honestly, today when you're going to invest in a set of windshields, you need to put in a new gasket. So when you order it, when you get a windshield, just expect to have a new gasket, and they'll put new lock bead in too. So this thing is out of its element. It's not being held, so we have to be very, very careful with it, okay? Reason we pulled it out again, this is the Mac Daddy dash that's going to be put into it. And this is the side panel. Now, these side panels are kind of unique in that we fixed all the cracks in them, and then we have this texture gun that retextures this in a nice light pebble. So we're not trying to match the original, or if it's cracked, you'll always see the crack or what have you. So this is the way we do all the plastic parts of the dash and the dash side panels. So this will go in there when the dash and when the windshields are all in. So how do you put windshields in, okay? It's kind of like bowling, okay? You're going to throw gutter balls for a while until you figure out how to do it. And the problem with that is you only have one motorhome, and the windshields are not cheap. So my personal biased subjective opinion, if you want to get the most value out of your windshield, have a windshield installer that has done it before, install your windshields, and properly seal it, okay? Well, what's that cost, okay? You do not, I would not buy a windshield and crate and freight it to you. Because now you have a windshield in your hands and it needs to go in the coach. It's worth nothing in your hands like this. It's got to be put in. And it's a compound, crazy-do curve here, okay? And it's not difficult, but again, if you bowled for 3 years, it's not difficult. You follow what I mean? We installed these at rallies for many, many years. It freaked me out because we installed them ourselves, and if I broke one, there's all my profit. And see, that's the thing. If you buy a windshield and you have it sitting there and you pay a guy to install it for you, he can't guarantee he's not going to break it. Why? Because he is backed up by his vendors when he buys a window, that if he does crack it, they'll help him out with the price, but only once. He'll get kicked out after that, okay? But if you supply him the glass, and he's going to put it in, he just can't guarantee it because the windshield costs much more than what the labor would cost to put it in. Okay, so that's the problem you have with buying a windshield and you're freight and crated. My personal opinion, there's a company called rvglasssolutions.com. They will have a group of installers in their area that they can ship to, and they can guarantee the window, the installation, and the seal. Okay? Yes, that's the more expensive way to do it. If you want to do it in your backyard, go for it. I have put these things in myself. It was a bitch. It's kind of like if you ask your buddy as a painter to paint your motorhome when you finish, he'll tell you it's the last thing he'll ever do again. Okay? Putting on windshields the same way. If you haven't done it before, man, you'll sweat nickels. Okay? So if you go to a GMC dealer and have them install it, they're taking the responsibility, but not you. Also, SOP, Standard Operating Procedure, is to put that gasket up in there dry. This is supposed to be a dry fit windshield. The problem is there is a gap right there where the two body pieces on the inside come together. And what happens is water will weep through that gap and drop inside. It'll drop right in the passenger lap, or it will drop right there. Boom. It's amazing. I think it was scientifically designed to put a pool of water in your horn button. We seal that with a urethane windshield sealer on the inside on that little gap there before the installer does the install, to cover that one overlap that he may not know about. Okay? So when you do have an installer come, tell him, look, I'm not going to tell you your job, that's why I hired you. But there's a couple of things unique to this motorhome, and I just want to tell you about it, and I'll step away and let you do your worst. Tell him about the overlap gap right up there, that you'd like him to put urethane windshield, he'll have it in the truck, urethane windshield sealant on that lip before the gasket goes on it. Okay? Ask him if he'll do that for you. Other than that, let him do his business. If he breaks it, it'll be his chicken. And that's the way you really want a windshield to be. You say, well, when do I want to get windshields? Well, let me show you a picture. See what I mean? Take a look at that picture. The foam around the edge, or the fuzz around the edge, that's water that got into the plastic in between the two pieces of glass. Fogged up, nothing you can do. Okay? You don't know how bad your glasses are until you get new ones. Oh, geez. Yeah, you don't know how bad it is. When you put new windshields in your motorhome, it's brighter. It's amazing what it does for you. We don't sell windshields. When we do restorations, we install windshields. And if you needed a set of windshields, we could find a way to fit you in and maybe put a set of windshields in. But you need to find a local place. Now, RV Glass Solutions will have a local place, possibly. And if they don't find a place, then they'll ship it to them and he'll install it and they'll guarantee it. That's what you want. You want a good glass, you want it put in right, you want it sealed, and you want it guaranteed. Okay? It's not a DIY thing if you want all the features. Okay? Last thing is, like on this one, we pull this windshield out and we're going to put it back in. Why? Because it's a new windshield and we put all this film on it. But if you take out a windshield, you say, well, that one looks better than mine. I want to put that in. As glass ages, it gets brittle. You know that. Well, if you get an old windshield out, an old one, not a new one, if you get an old windshield out intact, there's a 50-50 chance that you'll get it back in somewhere else or back in intact because the glass is brittle. It doesn't flex. Glass flexes. Glass is liquid. It flexes. But an old piece of glass is brittle. So if your idea is to get an old piece of glass out of somebody's coach that looks better than yours, one, that's a lot of work, brother. Two, chances you can break it. Three, it just looks nicer looking through new glass. Your new glasses, right? All right, well, windshields are something we all either have or had to get involved in because windshields don't last forever, okay? So that's about it. If you have any other questions about windshields, hey, Santos, how are you? All right, be right with you. If you have any other questions about windshields or how to get it done or anything like that, ranch hands, you got my number. Give me a call. You other guys can call me too. I appreciate the time, and we'll see you on this next episode that's going to tell you about the windshield, the steering wheel with the water in it, where it goes. See you later.